Hello and welcome to Epiphytic Cacti. Today I figured I would just kind of go through, I got some new babies from various different places and I need to do some repotting here, or I guess potting because only some of these are plants. But I figured I'd kind of show this too because it's a little bit cool. So these guys here, you can see that these guys are actually grafted, and this is what is known as an exotica hybrid. And I think that the name of this is actually Eco. Maybe it's Ico. It's IKO. That's how it's spelled. And there's 3 of them. So I got 3 of these guys, these little exoticas. They're all the same. And I'm going to put those guys in a pot together. And then I also got these 3. I always have to be really careful with these because I'm so bad for knocking the grafts off. And these are actually supposed to be Microcepherica. I have issues, I know. I've done other videos where it's like you hear me talk about Microcepherica and like I have issues. I like pretty much need it always. But I don't have any grafts of it, so you know the grafts, they actually do pretty good for me, I guess. And I don't know if you can see, but my nails are wretched right now. They need to be dealt with. You can see here, though, what I have is actually, I've shown this in videos before, but this guy was grafted. There's actually 3 of them in here, and they're grafted onto the same thing, the Schlumbergera, and these are actually ones that I bought from the same person last year. So it grows really fast, and I mean, I really like having them kind of grafted. Species that are a little bit tough on their own root systems grafted like this because, you know, they really kind of grow very easily. I like moving that guy outside, particularly this guy. I just really like moving him outside, particularly in the summertime here because his clades, they start turning purple. And I really like it when that happens. But hopefully someday that guy blooms for me. Look at how perfect this is. It's like just 2 perfect little bunny ears. So really love that guy. And then this guy is a exotica hybrid. There's a video on this guy. It's Chiba Peru. And so this is kind of, you know, there's a video on it, it blooming, and this is generally also, you know, grafted, which is why I'm showing it. Also, I believe I got this from the same place. So I really like it because they do really well. They grow very quickly. So I just kind of wanted to show that. I'm going to do a little potting of those guys together. It's not really anything fancy. Just going to put some stuff down there. Oh, I hate how dusty that is. This freaks me out. And then I'm just going to kind of stand them up like this. So I'm going to have like 3 little trees here. And just fill in. Here what I have is actually some Rhipsalis that I got. I really like this person. Sells on Facebook. And tends to sell a lot of like really cool species and stuff like that. So this right here, let's see if I can actually say this. I don't know how to say that. But that's what it is. It's Pilocarpa. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but it's Rhipsalis Pilocarpa, I guess. And so it's these little fuzzy things, and I fell in love with this. I was never really all that into Rhipsalis, but I saw this guy, and it was actually that I saw this guy in bud, and I became slightly obsessed with it because the buds were furry. And so I really like this guy. Kind of open these guys up, and I'm just gonna pot these pretty much the exact same way that I did there. And then just hang them outside here and let nature do its thing. They'll root. It's humid. You know, the only thing that I ever try to caution about when I'm outside doing stuff like that is really the rain. I am having a really hard time getting this open. Every day I'm struggling. Okay, we may not be able to open this because I may not be able to find it. There we go. Oh my goodness. That was difficult. Here we go. I don't actually think I have this. It's really cute. And I just don't know that much about Rhipsalis. I mean, I've said this before. I'll keep on saying it. I'm just kind of an idiot when it comes to Rhipsalis. But that doesn't stop me from trying to grow it. There we go. Oh, how cute. It's very cute. I've got something that looks like this, but I don't think it's the same thing. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know, because Rhipsalis is confusing. Isn't that cute? Look at how weird it can grow to, like the long little bits there. It's really, really cute. This one is, woo! This one is Rhipsalis gobeliana. Gobeliana. We'll go with that. There we go. I've never even heard these things said. This guy I'm excited about, and I've wanted it for a while, but for some strange reason, I just really haven't. I've seen it, but you know, most of the time whenever I see it for sale, it always kind of is like, because I think it's something that's a little bit harder to get. So I think it's something that always kind of has a high price tag, and a lot of times those high price tag items will be kind of sad. Like, I mean, like a little, you know, sad, ugly cuttings and stuff like that. But these guys don't look bad. This is Rhipsalis paradoxa. And I do know how to say that one because I do recognize this one. It's really cool because it looks like these little chain links. To me, it looks like chain links anyway. I think it's a really, really, really cool plant. And I love that he put arrows on these. Arrows! So we've got that guy. And then this guy. Not exactly sure. I may need to get a little bit up on figuring some of these guys out because this one was really confusing to me. And I'm not sure if I'm getting names confused and this is something else, but it's cool looking. Yeah, it's really cool looking. Like, I really like these like little stems. It's so neat looking. But this is just not... Oh, I am getting it confused with something else. So I was getting this guy confused with a different Rhipsalis. I don't have this, and this thing is cool looking. So this is... Oh, no wonder why. It's a Lepismium. I have a real thing for the Lepismium. So this one is Lepismium warmingianum. And it's a really cool looking dude. Yeah, he's cool. I'm excited about that one. I'm really excited about that one, actually. And this is the reason why I bought this whole little, because all these guys actually came together as like a little set. How cool is that? Because some of these guys are pretty, like I said, they're kind of a little bit harder to find, but this is the one that I really, really, really wanted. I've wanted this guy for a while. I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I actually think that I already have it, but I'm not real sure because I bought this thing that looked like it without an ID. And I was like, I don't care. Because I was just obsessed with it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I see a plant and I just get so obsessed. I'm like, I will find you. There are some exceptions. There's one plant that I don't know that I'm ever going to find, but that's okay. Oofda. There we go. Wowee. What a kid. What a beautiful kid. I am so totally excited about this kid. You have no idea. So this kid is actually Rhipsalis clavata. Yeah, this gets to be so beautiful. I've got like a real thing for like these, you know, kind of hangy, clumpy sort of Rhipsalis that look like hair. Or like really short bits of hair that do all that. You know, the subdividing thing to me is just really cool. So I'm really excited about that. Like I'm so beyond excited about that. It's not even funny. So I'm just gonna pot those little guys up. And then the last thing that I have here is these babies. I'm really excited. So this is amazing. This came off of an older plant of Rhipsalidopsis rosea, which is a species. And I'm so excited about this because there's so much of it. I have like little tiny cuttings of this that, you know, like I probably paid way too much for because I'm obsessed. And so I'm really thankful and I'm so excited to have like so much of this to actually pot. So I'm gonna pot these guys together. You can see it came off of a really old plant. Because you can see like the older stems there, they're very woody. And I'm so excited, yay! So I'm gonna pot these babies up too in a nice little tiny pot like that, and we'll have like a beautiful little hanging Rhipsalidopsis rosea species. Same thing, he'll just kind of hang outside and do his rip thing. So we'll be really excited about that. And there we go. I just wanted to show new babies. Yay, new babies. And different kinds of babies. You know, there's like a lot of different kinds of things here with the Rhipsalis and the Schlumbergera. Oh, that's actually Schlumbergera microcepherica. I should have said that's what that was. I know that I said microcepherica, but we don't want to drop the genus off of there. The same thing with the exotica. Here we go. We can see that all these guys, they're all nice and potted up here and they're ready to go. Probably biggest problem I have here is that I'm going to need to find a place to hang them. What I'm pretty much going to do is, you know, they're just freshly potted up and everything. So I'm probably going to give them just a little bit of water. And then I'm going to hang them, but I'm going to hang them somewhere where it's nice and shady, where they don't get too much light. You know, I don't want to immediately try to give these guys a bunch of light because they're not going to like that. So we're just going to kind of like hang them in the back here, you know, probably going to hang them up back here somewhere, you know, along this back wall here where it's just nice and shady. They're not going to get too much light. I'm just really going to let them be. The Rhipsalis I will likely leave in the shade for considerably longer. The Schlumbergera, after those guys have actually acclimatized for a little while and everything, and I feel like, you know, they're kind of doing well, I'm actually going to take those guys and then move them into a sunnier location. Both of those are actually plants that like it a little bit more light. Rhipsalis is a little bit different, like at least in my experience, the Rhipsalis is always going to be a little bit different. So it's always going to appreciate a little bit of a shadier area, and it's always going to want to be just a little bit more wet. Whereas these guys, the Schlumbergera, especially because they're, you know, that's a species, and the exotica is actually a little bit closer to a species than I would say like most of your like standard truncata Thanksgiving cactus type hybrids. But either which way, I do actually find that even like my, you know, very hybridized truncatas, they appreciate more light than Rhipsalis. So I'm always going to keep those guys in a little bit more light. And the same thing holds true to my Rhipsalidopsis rosea. She's going to take a little while to rit and everything. And particularly while she's ritting, I'm definitely going to have to kind of like watch that she doesn't get too much water. And it'll take a little while, but you know, she'll start to form her roots. It's actually one that I do find, like in terms of some of the species, particularly like between Rhipsalidopsis and Schlumbergera, I actually find the rosea easier to root, really. Just what I needed, more kids. I needed every single last one of these kids. It was necessary. Thank you for watching and happy cacti growing.